Now that we have understood linked lists and what they are, how they look like, and how we can represent them visually, I want us to go and now look at some of the operations that we can carry out on a linked list. Yeah. So this operations that we can perform, operations rather that we can perform on linked list include operations like we can do insertion, we can do deletion, we can do searching, and we're going to try and see also how you can reverse linked lists as we proceed. So we're going to try and make this as going to try and make this as uh, sort of language independent as possible, so that if you are going to implement it in your own, in your preferred programming language, you'll well understand that. Yeah. So I'm going to just create a single linked list here so that we can start building up from there. So let's have so we're going to have a single linked list. Okay. And we already know how we can represent a single linked list like this, and it has now pointers to the next element, and here we're going to have the data same as this end here. Okay, so now for us to perform our operation, so we're going to start with insertion, and so you can just basically list the operations here first. We're going to try and do we're going to do insertion, deletion, and we're also going to do searching. So these are the three main operations we're going to look at. Starting with insertion. So how you can do insertion is, the first thing is you need to create a new node. Yeah. So you create a new node. Let's assume this is the new node that you've created here, and you're going to set its next pointer. So I'm not supposed to use that one. So you create a node, and then its next pointer, the next pointer for this new node that you've just created, uh, so its next pointer is going to basically set it to be the current head. This is when you're trying to insert and you want to insert elements at the beginning of your linked list. So you're going to basically set the next pointer to the current head. So then you're going to make the new node to be the new head. Yeah. So again, we want to insert it at the beginning. So basically, this is what we have as, let's say this is existing linked list, and this is the existing head. This is the existing tail. Adding an element at the beginning here means that we need to make this new node that we've created. We need to make it the head. So what we need to do is we just need to, this next pointer here, it's going to point to the current head. So this is the current head. So the next pointer is going to point there. Let's just move it and try to visualize that. So going to it's just create it here. So you have a new one, and we're going to have its next pointer. It's going to point to the current head. Since this is the current head here, this is the current head. So if the next pointer points to the current head, then this is going to make the new node, which we have here. The new node is going to be the new head. That's basically how we're going to insert at the beginning. If you want to insert at the end, which is now inserting another element here, I'm going to also just create a separate node here, and we're going to try and start this one. So what you'll do, the first thing, the operations that you're going to do is you're going to traverse the list until you find this last node, which is the tail. Once you find the last node, then its next pointer for the tail, the next pointer is always going to point to null. But now you're going to change, instead of it pointing to null, you're going to set it to point to the new node that you just created. Yeah, and if you want to insert at a specific position, so let's say in the middle here somewhere there you want to insert another node there, you're going to basically traverse to that position. Then you're going to adjust the pointers again. So let's say I want to add it somewhere here at the beginning. I'm going to basically, instead of this pointer pointing to this element, it's going to point to this one. Then its next pointer is going to point to this element here. And that is basically how you're going to do your insertion operations. Now, the next operation is deletion. And how deletion works basically is, if you want to delete an element at the beginning, and we'll just shift to the beginning here, you're going to basically point the head. The head is going to point to the second node on the list. Yeah. So let's say this is the L. This is the head that you're trying to get rid of here. You're just going to point instead of having this as the head. So remember, when you're setting, you're going to set the head to this element. You just switch and set it here. Yeah. So if you have like self.head, you have self.head pointing to this one here, you'll just switch it and have it point to the second item. If you're deleting the last element, you will just have the second last element. So if I want to delete this, what I'll do is, remember, the last element always points to null. I'll just change the pointer of this. Instead of it pointing to the last element there, I'll have it point to null. Basically here, have it point to null, and that's going to be the last element. And if I want to delete at a specific position, I'm going to do the same thing, just switching the pointers. So let's say I want to get rid of this element here. I'll just switch the pointers. Instead of the pointer pointing to this element, it will be pointing to this one here. Basically, that's how you're going to do your deletion. And if you want to do searching, for searching, you have to just traverse the list from the head, and then you're going to check each node's data. And if you're going to find a match, then you just return that node that is going to match what you're searching. Otherwise, if you're not going to find anything, you'll basically return null. So thank you for watching up to this point. In the next session, we're going to look at a practical example on how you can try and basically reverse a linked list, which is the remaining operation.